all around me. You know, there was bricks falling down everywhere. Just down the road, there was a huge fire happening, and shortly after, a lot of helicopters swooped in and tried to put that out. So yeah, it was. I mean, there was big, huge cracks in the road. Power lines were down, and you know, cars had been smashed, and you know, there was a repetitive horn sound.
Well, the big push at this hour to pull those still trapped under the rubble left by the quake. Our own Jim Cantore updates us on the search and rescue effort underway in New Zealand.
The Prime Minister's words are chilling.
I don't think we can go past the fact that we may well be witnessing New Zealand's darkest day.
Prime Minister John Key made that statement after surveying the damage a 6.3 magnitude quake did to the city of Christchurch.
It's a scene of utter devastation. If we had everything on our side at the last earthquake in terms of the timing in the middle of the night where people weren't around, it's been the polar opposite this time.
This time, the earthquake hit midday when many people were at work and school.
I think it's about 10 people still from my work in there.
Buildings just buckled.
Just came down, like right down. I was buried under part of the ceiling, and when I looked out, I saw that we were on the road and people were looking at us.
There's a bit of a drama knocking out the window and then abseiling staff down the side of the building, but the stairwell's completely gone.
Also gone, part of the city's historic cathedral.
Actually see it topple in front of the cathedral, to see the dust and have people running out underneath that dust is just, there's just no words, to be quite honest. It was absolutely awful.
Person after person was either pulled or helped from the rubble. As night fell, the efforts did not stop.
We're working through the night to get anyone who's trapped in the debris free as soon as humanly possible.
Incredibly, people with cell phones were able to call for help.
Hello? She's in the classroom. Are you in the classroom? Hey, people are doing everything to save you.
The world is offering help as well. Several countries, including the U.S., are sending disaster relief and search and rescue teams. I'm meteorologist Jim Cantore.
Some devastating scenes, and of course we'll have continuing coverage throughout the morning here at the Weather Channel. In the meantime, as we look at your Wednesday forecast for the East Coast, we're looking at sunshine in Atlanta. Temperatures in the 60s today. New York City, golden sunshine, 43 degrees for your high temperature, and Pittsburgh about 42 degrees for you. So near seasonal averages for a change. As we move into Chicago, we'll find some cloud cover around 38 degrees for your high temperature, so not that bad. Mixture of sun and clouds in Dallas. 74 degrees. Minneapolis, you'll see partly sunny to mostly cloudy skies. A high today of 35 degrees. And we'll be tracking some snow for the Pacific Northwest, including places like Seattle and eventually into the Portland area. Los Angeles, a little cool for you, low 60s for highs. Let's take a look at the water vapor imagery. This really tells the story about the energy that we're tracking that will potentially produce some severe weather as we move into your Thursday. Take a look at this swirl, this upper level low. Some of this energy is going to move into the South Plains, and that is where the stage will be set here for some of that evolving severe weather as we move into your Thursday. But for now, we're looking at quiet conditions, high pressure building into the northeast, so that is going to give nice conditions for you later on. New York City over to Boston, as well as the nation's capital here, we will enjoy sunshine. It's a chilly start out there, temperatures in the 20s, so jacket and sweater weather. And we'll look at that area of high pressure dominate the area. So look for sunshine. D.C. a high today of 43 degrees. New York City 43 degrees as well. And as we move into the Boston area, highs topping out in the upper 30s. So no weather worries, not tracking snow, sleet, or rain this go around for you into the middle part of the week. Getting a break as well as we move into the Midwest here. We have some cloud cover scattered about, and most of what you see between Kansas City and St. Louis not making it to the ground. The atmosphere still relatively relatively dry, so a few sprinkles at most. So most of this is just virga. But temperature-wise, we're in the single digits in Bismarck, and also we're dealing with numbers in the 30s from Kansas City to St. Louis. I know it looks a little ominous, but most of that not making it to the ground there in central Missouri. As far as the overall forecast here, we are going to track a weak disturbance into the northern tier here, but keeping the clouds around in Minneapolis and Chicago, highs in the 30s. Sunny clouds mixing from Kansas City to St. Louis with highs topping out in the 50s for you, upper 40s in the Queen City of Cincinnati, Ohio. Conditions in the southeast fairly quiet, but we are tracking some morning cloud cover, low ceilings, and also some fog as we move into central and southern Florida. So just watch out for that. A few sprinkles moving into northeastern sections of Arkansas as well. So we do have the foggy conditions around the Big Easy also as we move into the Sunshine State, and we continue to keep tabs on the tender dry conditions for you. So the frontal boundary is going to move through the Sunshine State here without a whole lot of fanfare. 82 degrees for your high in Orlando, mid-60s in Atlanta. Still to come on First Outlook, officials now believe there will be no earthquake survivors found at a building that housed foreign students. We'll have that story coming up. And also, as we continue to track, a nice story here about a dog.
Introducing the Thunderbolt by HTC. Immense power, scorching speed. The first phone strong enough to run on the fastest, most advanced 4G network in America.
Ring, ring.
Progresso.
Oh, yes, hi. Can you put my grandma on the phone, please? Thanks.
Excuse me a sec. Another person calling for her grandmother.
Wow, she thinks it's her soup, huh?
I'm told she's in the garden picking herbs.
She's so cute. Okay, I'll hold.
She's holding.
Wow.
Progresso, you gotta taste this soup.
You know, when I grow up, I'm gonna own my own restaurant.
I want to be a volunteer firefighter.
When I grow up, I want to write a novel.
I want to go on a road trip.
When I grow up, I'm going to go there.
I'm going to work with kids.
I want to fix up old houses.
At AARP, we believe you're never done growing.
I want to fall in love again.
Together, we can discover the best of what's next at aarp.org.
Homeowners, rates have been going up, but you can still refinance to a fixed rate as low as 4.5% at LendingTree.com, where customers save an average of $293 a month. Call LendingTree at 1-800-800-8733 today.
Weekday mornings, wake up with Al.
Look at how far south this snow extends.
Your daily forecast and news headlines.
This will be one of the coldest days so far this season.
Wake up with Al. Coming up next on the Weather Channel.
Through the storm and beyond. The Weather Channel, the Winter Weather Authority. Now your local on the 8s.
Welcome back into First Outlook. It's a cold morning for you in Cleveland. You can see folks are up and at 'em. It's 13 degrees right now, but get ready for sunshine out there. And we are looking at dry conditions, so not a bad commute and looking good as we go throughout the day. Now, as far as the overall perspective here on your business travel, we are keeping tabs on quiet conditions across the country, at least for today, but some major problems are likely as we move into tomorrow's forecast. A few sprinkles dotting the map here as we move into the mid-Mississippi River Valley, but otherwise most of us will enjoy a break. The Pacific Northwest is going to be a different story. We are tracking some snowfall on the way for you around Seattle as well as Portland, so watching out for some problems there, but smooth sailing from Dallas to Chicago to Atlanta. As we travel along I-70 here, Columbus, Ohio, 43 degrees for your high temperature today. Baltimore about 45, so no problems, looking good. And also, as we move along that I-95 corridor here, Philadelphia, what about mid-40s for highs, low 40s in New York City, upper 30s as we move into the Providence area. And as we focus in on another interstate here that we're keeping tabs on along I-90, mostly sunny skies with high pressure in full control. Switching gears here, we're following more on the latest developments after New Zealand's earthquake, and right now, new video into us here at the Weather Channel. You'll want to take a look at it too, because this is the epicenter of the 6.3 magnitude quake. New Zealand TV released these pictures of the scene. Crews continue to rescue those trapped in the rubble. 24 hours after the 6.3 quake, crews pulled a woman from the rubble, but the death toll continues to climb. At least 75 people have died in the quake, and officials now say that 300 are still missing. And also, new trouble for U.S. citizens trying to escape Tripoli, Libya, to escape the unrest. A U.S. government-chartered ferry for evacuees could face weather trouble. Winds could gust to 40 miles an hour, and there are also indications that waves will be rough. Now, the fallout from all of the winter storms continues in the Northeast, with probes, calls for assistance, and even a happy ending. We begin with the storms that pounded Washington, D.C. The FCC wants to know why Verizon dropped 10,000 calls to 911 during the January 26th snowstorm. The agency wants a detailed report from Verizon. In the meantime, Connecticut's governor wants a presidential disaster declaration in the wake of the winter weather that's hammered his state. He's asking for the declaration to open the door to federal aid to repair structure collapses and other damages done by the big winter storm that struck January 12th. It's estimated that the state saw more than $14 million in damage from the storm. But in Boston, there's a happy ending to one four-legged victim of this brutal winter. Take a look at the video here. 5-month-old beagle pup Dino now has, well, a new home. You see, the dog suffered leg fractures when hit by snowplows in January. He was adopted on Tuesday, so certainly some good news to report there. Right now on the radar, fairly quiet, tracking just